So it's being shared at this meeting can't be, funny enough, can't be talked about, can't be pointed at. Can't be given directions to. Because it's already everything. So this, or wholeness, never goes anywhere, never moves. It's just expressing as this. Even a sense of separation or feeling like a me is this too. Because all is this. So even that sense of seeking is not you. It's not an entity. It's not a person. It's just this. So nothing's personal. Even if something feels personal, the feeling of being personal, ironically, isn't personal. This this meeting goes by the name of non-duality, and then there's something called radical non-duality, which I do not know what that is. But I will say here that it can be said that the me never existed. So there's nothing to get rid of already. In a way that the me has never existed, in a way, would explain its endless frustration that it can't seem to escape. So there can be a resonance with all is this. And it doesn't mean there's going to be a person there resonating. No, just resonance for nobody. That all is this. So anything can be talked about, anything can be shared. It's just this expressing however it's expressing. So this is an open meeting. Everybody's invited to participate. If you have a comment, question, something you'd like to share, please unmute and jump in. Hi, Maureen.
Hi. It's just so funny to me. Just really tickling my funny bone that we're getting together to talk, but what are we gonna really say? I mean, that we don't really know. I mean, I know there's levels of knowing. So and I know that at least mentally that becoming aware, having awareness, this self-awareness is like the beginning. It's the beginning, and at the same time it's the end. But there's so much it's really hard to talk about any of this because it covers the whole gamut. So I was really interested in what people had to say. I did have a question. Does knowing all is this bring joy? Does knowing all is this, that I'm this, that all is this? For me, it seems to be I'll have peace, but I haven't really necessarily felt like joy, I guess. So I just want to know what you would say about that.
Yeah, that's what I call resonance, that peace. There was something about just relaxing because I didn't know. Like I tried Muji, I tried Eckhart Tolle, I tried, you name one
Me
second.
too.
Well, yeah, let me let Leighton in. And so it wasn't for lack of trying. I just, Vedanta, Buddhism, all of it. And finally, I just, nothing quite, there was always more. There was always more. And all is this, it just doesn't have a beginning or an end. There's nowhere to start. You can't really get a foothold in all is that it doesn't give you a place. Even the me is this. Even if it feels separate, it's still this because there's no separation. And that's the freedom. And it's not known. Like there's no one here that knows that.
Can I check? Um, I've never been to an open format like this before. But I've been trying the Eckhart Tolle, and I know it's not about trying, it's about being something. And I'm struggling because I keep identifying with the mind. And my mind isn't in a very good place. And so I keep falling into, I'm going to say, a spiral downwards. And I'm not sure how to stop that. Like I said, I'm new to duality and non-duality, and I've tried 12-step programs, and but I'm having this struggle of just being present. And yeah, I think the thing is I keep identifying with the mind and the body.
Yeah, good. Okay, so let's take a look at what Rick's, right? Because we can all relate, right? That's Rick's talking about something we can all relate to, and that's the sufferer, the one who is suffering, regardless of what it may be. So let's take a look. Let's see if right now, and so don't go to thought, we're not thinking, we're just looking for the sufferer right here. If you don't go to thought, you may notice that nothing's actually happening. So it turns out by mistaking thoughts as having to do with me, that I suffer. Yeah, unmute, Maureen. Yeah.
Something that has helped me recently is the idea that, in Seattle, they have this gum wall downtown. Have you heard of the gum wall? Anybody? It's kind of disgusting, but it's very well known. It's been there a long time. It's in downtown Seattle, and it's a big wall with chewed gum, different colors stuck to it. And every once in a while, the city comes around and cleans that disgusting thing off. And within 2 days, it's packed again with gum. So anyway, I think of our mind as a collection of gum, as a big gum wall on both the inside of my cranium. Just these different colored pieces of gum. This is an imagination too. It's just a way to look at something. And it's stuff that we've picked up along the way. Most of it is like, from other people, conditioning and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's useless, but everybody has a different configuration of that gum inside them. And they call that their personality. I don't know if I'm right about that or not, but personality it changes. Everything changes. All this stuff changes. So, I think sometimes there are things that come up that, even though you say, this is not me, I'm not my thoughts. I'm definitely not my thoughts. And I don't need to take this personally. It just kind of sticks. And in that case, when it's, repetitive, then it's time to really look at that thing, I think. Because it's like a little kid tugging at the hem of your, shirt. Come on, mom, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, until you really look at it and take it apart. Then you realize there's nothing really here is old. It's memories, it's conditioning. It isn't anything real, but you have to do the work. So if there is something like that, I don't see any other way around it. I have had to do this many times.
Yeah, it's very you got to go with what works there. So for some, there can be feel, oh, I need to do some work, some inner work. That's fine. I did Life Spring. I did all the transactional analysis stuff back in the 70s and 80s, and Tony Robbins Firewalk. That was fun. So that can come up. Meditating can come up. It's still this. So you're not really getting anywhere, but if it feels good to do it, then why not?
What strikes me about these different elements is they're all stories. We keep making up stories, trying to explain, what helps or what is, and relate one thing to another. And what I've been hearing here over these months and soon to be years, I guess, is that it's unknowable, but yet the me just keeps trying to somehow get a grip on it, because the me doesn't like to be left in the unknown, or to just let it be as what it is. We want to somehow understand it, or in many circles that I've been at, it's like it's about reaching a certain state, like a blissful state, or like you can define the state, and then the me wants to hold on to that, and the me wants to spend 24/7 there, or as much as possible, and as long as it's not permanent, it keeps wanting to get there. So that's just what comes up for me when I hear, like, yeah, and I'm totally with you on the imagination and thoughts about who I am. I'm with you there.
So I have another question. What about that desire that we have that draws us? It draws us. I mean, I don't generally feel very calm about that. It seems like it always is gnawing at me. And I love it in a way, but because it makes me focus, maybe. But what is that?
Well, desire is just another name for me. The me desires. It doesn't want just what is. Right? The me never wants this. And that's all we're pointing to, is the simplicity of what is already, just this, as it is already whole and complete. But for the imaginary me, it's not good enough. So it's forced to in the imaginary future.
So that feeling comes and goes. So that's me. It's just me not being satisfied.
Well, the me doesn't exist. So it's just this imagining non-satisfaction. But if you look, and that's the thing, you have to look right now. You can't go, because what I notice is that when I talk like this, people will go to concepts and they'll say, yeah, I've done that before, or okay, I'll have to remember that for when I get home. No, it's right now is the only, and you look. But again, if you go to thought, you're going to get story. But if you just stay here,
So if you go to thought or you stay here, what is it that's going to thought or staying here?
no answer.
Well, I could answer that. I mean, the way I would answer is that there isn't anything that's going to thought or staying here. Going to thought or staying here is a story. It's a story appearing. And that's why, I mean, unfortunately, in a way, I mean, I would say, I mean, there's some things that people are bringing up, Rick's question and Maureen. I mean, these things are real questions, but as Michael said, that's the me. And that is the me. And there's no answer to the me. There's this meeting, I think, is about, pointing to the fact that the me is really not here. It's a story, it's an appearance, it's whatever you want to say, but there's something that is here that doesn't have anything to do with me, doesn't have anything to do with any story. It's too present to be a story, to go, And I just felt, I mean, this question about joy, and I really feel that question because, I experienced that also in my life, at this, moments of well, I don't know, feeling less than joy. But then there's only this that is, it's so much more beyond, it's not, it doesn't relate to, I mean, it's joy really is a story. And this is without any kind of limitation or boundary, or it doesn't, or definition. It includes everything. And I mean, it shines a light on this fact that the one that's looking for joy, the one that's looking, it's just another story. It's another, and it's an idea that the me has, which is that there's something else besides what is. There's this, and then there's something else that could be, maybe some joy could be, or some whatever, because of course there could be any, the me will come up with a billion things that there could be. But this that simply is, this what is so full. It almost makes the idea of joy kind of silly in a way. It's not missing anything. It's not missing joy. It's not missing really anything, but it's not being anything either. It's just the fullness of just what is. Oh, well.
I know I'm going to regret taking the bait on this, but I'm going to, and also because I can't believe I'm about to agree with a Bruin. Notice I changed my image. I'm desperately looking for a WeRSC logo, but I couldn't find it. So anyway, I think that some of what we do here, like, we have to put words to things in order to explain them, even though we're saying it's just this, it's just in the moment. And that question that was asked, you know, that Michael said he don't know, and Dan just answered eloquently. For me, I look at it as consciousness. Something is aware of this, aware of the moment, aware of thoughts. I can't point to a specific me because me keeps changing. Like, am I the person I was at 4? No. Am I the person I was a second ago? No. Am I the person I am right now in this very minute? No, because that minute passed. Like, I can't point. Am I the pain in my back? No, I don't even know where that pain is. It's just some general feeling I have, you know, but the thing that it's the thing that's aware of it, the thing that's watching it. And if the question then becomes what's consciousness, then the answer is who fucking knows? I have no idea.
Yeah, the word doesn't matter. So consciousness, awareness, this, wholeness, freedom, liberation, pick your favorite, dog shit. The word literally doesn't matter. It's just a label. It's not going to change this. This will not be offended. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I always raise my hand. When I talk to some people about this, that they after a while they say, well, what about my emotions? Shouldn't I have emotions? Don't I need to emote? And I always say, you know, you could do whatever you want. There's no rules about that. That's not the point of it. It's so what would you say to that?
well, you just said it beautifully. There's just no rules. Because there's no one there that actually owns or has emotions. And that flies in the face of conventional, you know, from 99.9% of the population, there is someone in the body, and apparently we get very offended. So this is radical in the sense it's saying, well, there actually never was a separate me in the first place. And that will either resonate or it won't. Because it's not giving you anything to do. You can do, it's fine, it's no problem, but there's nothing you need to do that's going to make you more this and or less this. It's just not available. There's just this. All is this, however it appears. Like it's just assumed, right? My problem. I have a problem. It's not really looked for. It's just assumed that you, yeah, I have a problem. It's just it seems so normal to say it, but rare is the one that stops and looks for the owner of the problem to see if that's actually the case. And lo and behold, here nothing's been found. And that was in Encosi's report, that there was just not, he just couldn't find himself, he said.
If something has a truth, so the stuff that you're saying is to me truth, but I'm saying to me because I know it doesn't resonate with everybody. So what is this resonating? It seems like in my own situation that when something resonates, I mean, it's like my whole being just goes, yes.
Yeah.
But how could it be yes for me and somebody else a no? And
That's-
about this.
That's a great question. That's a great question, Maureen. It's because freedom doesn't have any rules. So freedom, as crazy as it sounds, freedom can appear as unfreedom, limitation, cruelty, wars, because it's everything. So it doesn't discriminate. Another thing Encosi said, which I put a chapter in our book, he said, this has no shame.
Yes. So maybe in a way, everything is ultimately one thing. So resonating or not resonating, it doesn't matter. But then I don't know what that, like my being goes, whoa. That's not my mind saying whoa, because in my mind I'm not sure sometimes, but it seems like it just kind of comes out of me.
Yeah.
So
Maureen, the closest, and this is just a story, but the closest that when I get asked this, well, what do you mean by resonance? The only thing I can come up with is that feeling of when you first meet someone and you fall instantly in love. Like, you don't know why, you shouldn't, you just met them, but you just really like them and you can't explain it. So for me, all is this had that effect. I'm like, for me, it was like, oh, of course. Like it just seemed obvious when once I really was, I go, well, what else? What would not be this? But you can't explain falling in love.
no.
In sports, there's that feeling I've been fortunate to feel, and it's probably, well, it's the same in music and dancing, but it's, that out of body experience. People talk about an out of body experience, and it's the same thing. There's no boundaries, there's no form. Um, you feel very expansive, and there's really kind of not really a you. Um, Joe said something earlier that I related to too, which there's an awareness. But it feels very expansive. So that's been my experience with that state, so to speak.
Yeah, Alan, Encosi has referred to it as sort of an aware space, but there's nobody who's aware. So even to call it an aware space is even too much.
Yeah, I was thinking earlier when someone was talking, it's more like awareness is happening.
Yeah, that's so we can see the limitations that words have and how difficult it is to talk because you actually can't talk about everything. It's impossible. So any other group, car group, tennis group, yoga group, we got a subject. We know what we're there for.
I kind of navigate my life with that kind of inner aha kind of resonance.
Hmm.
And like, I know it's not my life and all that, but I do have decisions to make, apparently. And when I do, I'm trying to just go with just the flow of the moment. And the flow of the moment seems to be what resonates for me at the moment. I know everybody's got a different way to go, and maybe that's part of why things it doesn't resonate with everybody. I mean, the things that resonate with other people are amazing to me. Like, well, what? But it just is. I mean, I don't know, and there's no right and wrong about it. It's this is a good question, resonating. You know, how do you follow the flow? I think I mean, I don't think it's all mind or thought. But I don't really know what it is.
Well, one very simple little trite example would be just saying the words "all is this." You know, how does that feel when you just say "all is this"?
Feels really good to me. Yeah, very expansive. But I'm a Reiki practitioner. It's one of my labels.
Okay.
So, you know, my whole practice has shifted quite a bit. And I have noticed that, like, if I have somebody on the table and they say, you know, if we say if I say something like to be open to love, some people freak out about that. It does not resonate. Love does not resonate with them because they have all this mind stuff going on. They can't sift through that. The feeling right away is fear. Like, I'm not comfortable. And that seems to me super odd. But I get it, because usually those people have been through some big traumas. And I know all that stuff is not real anymore, for sure. They're here, they're happy, you know, but it just goes to show what resonates really kind of depends on other things, maybe also being in the way. I don't know. I don't want to end everything I say with I don't know, but I'll just say that right now. I don't know. For all future things I say.
I don't know is pretty safe here, Maureen.
Oh, good.
So quite welcome.
All right.
It's actually advocated by some.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with it.
So one thing that has helped me with all this is you're probably all familiar with Byron Katie. So the one thing that she says, which is, there's 3 kinds of businesses in the world: my business, your business, and, for lack of a better word, God's business. So when you start wondering, like, why are hurricanes killing all these people? That's God's business. It's not yours. You're in somebody else's business. Don't do it. Which has really helped a lot of people. It's sort of helpful, but it doesn't really answer any questions. But maybe we don't have the answers to all the questions, except this has no shame. It's a good answer. It just, yeah. So the big questions, right? Why is there suffering in the world?
Yeah, there's just no answer for anything. There's just what is.
And yeah, and what is this, and what this is me, deep me. So deep, me. So it's interesting when you said, just think all is this. And I did that. And I was doing that. And I heard somebody say expansive. It felt expansive. And when way I view this a lot of times is when I say all is this, then it seems like I then need to expand out to be all of this. Okay. And this time, and that doesn't feel good to me at all. But this time when all is this, it went inward. Okay, the movement it didn't go outward. It went inward, deeply inward into all is this at the most microscopic level, so to speak. All is this. And in that way, it took me, the me, or the imagination, and it took it in to this place that, yeah, is not knowable, for sure. It's not knowable. I can't speak it, but I have a sense that it could be felt, or resonance, if this is making any sense at all. I'm loving it. It's like it's all this, there's nothing there, and it includes me and everything that I think that I am, and even the separateness that I think that I am. It includes that. It is also that, and it's that, but not separate from that. It's all one. So it's God. It's really nice. It's really interesting. I'm trying to explain it, and I'm really getting it. It cannot be what I'm trying to explain isn't going to be explainable, but it is present here. And oh man, this is okay. I'll stop here because we have the master on the line, so we can listen to him. Encosi, I love you, man.
Welcome, Encosi.
Hi, Encosi.
Hello.
Can you explain the unexplainable?
Nobody can.
Even if there was somebody, but you would say there is already nobody already.
Yeah, even that which seems to be talking right now, it can never be explained. Yeah, this is beyond any description. It can never be known. It can never be understood, because there is nobody outside of it to know it and understand it. This is everything. There's no separation. There's no distance to cover here. If it were to be known, who would know it? Who is outside of it to know it? Who is outside of it to understand it? So it's all there is. It's all there is already. Even the one who seems to be asking a question, the thinking happening right now, the wondering, the searching, the curiosity that seems to be appearing right now, the expectation, the desire, the waiting is already this appearing as that. There is no dividing line here. There's no one here and there's no one there. And there's no there, there's no here, it's just this. And nothing is excluded. Yeah. There are no different parts. It's just wholeness already. It's whole and complete. Even when it seems as if something is missing, it's already whole and complete. It's already what is appearing as a feeling of not being there yet, appearing as not getting it, appearing as getting it, appearing as losing hope, you know. So these bodies are empty already. I would say they are empty and full. They're not just empty and just blank space. Because this somehow is spacious. I would say spacious aliveness. It's aliveness. Every appearance in it seems to be alive because of it. Life is not separate. Life is already whole and complete. It's already everything. That which seems to be talking right now is not separate from that which seems to be listening there. Even when a thought appears to say, but I'm listening to Encosi, that's also not separate from this. That's also this appearing as that. It may say, but I'm not getting it. It may say, oh, now I'm getting it. It may say, today I'm not feeling well. But it's still the same unknowable spaciousness appearing as that. There isn't any separation already. Even when the thought appears to say, how am I ever gonna get it? That's already it. That's already this appearing as that. It appears as sitting on a chair, blinking. It appears as waiting, expecting, curious, smiling, going to the loo, walking, thinking. There isn't anybody who's doing that. It's just what's happening. It's just this appearing as that. The separate doer of things is already not there. It's just totality appearing as that. Any direction that may seem to be taken right now is already totality appearing as that. Whether there is a thought that seems to say, there is a me, another one saying, there is no me, it doesn't really matter to this, because all is this already. Any discussion about this can't touch this, can't change this. is already here because it's wordless. It doesn't require any word to be spoken for it to be what it is. It's there. It is already there before words and after words has been spoken. Even before any seeking may arise, it's already there. Even before any thinking may arise, it's already there. You are already that which you are looking for. That which seems to be searching for this is already this. So there is already no one searching. There is no one separate who's searching. There's just this appearing as somebody who's searching. So it's going nowhere. The separate self can never receive any help because the separate self doesn't exist. It's just wholeness appearing as that. You are it already. There is no you apart from it, and there's no it apart from you. And there is already no you who's separate. That's a dream. There's no separation. It's just totality appearing as everything. So anything may arise, anything may happen. They may be going to the left, they're going to the right, going up, going down, doesn't matter. It's just this appearing as that. Yeah, that's what comes up here. Well,
And notice that this doesn't say it's a human being. Anybody has a question for Encosi, now would be the time.
He answered them all.
Encosi, do you have a meeting once a week?
yes, I do.
Oh, interesting.
I do. Yeah, it's Monday for me. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. but for others, it's Sunday.
Ah,
Yeah, so there's two ways to get the link. I'll post it when Encosi sends it to me. I'll put it in the non-duality community on Facebook, as well as email it out. If you're signed up on Meetup, our Meetup group, then you'll also receive Encosi's link for Monday his time, Johannesburg, be Sunday night our time, Pacific Standard Time. It was 7. Encosi, are you going to keep it at 7? Was 4 a.m. your time, was 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Are you going to keep it the same?
I'm not really sure because the load shedding here keeps on changing. There's a new timetable
Okay.
that has come up. Yeah, so
Okay.
it keeps on changing. So I will have to decide based on the timetable.
Okay, you'll let me
Yeah.
know, and then as soon as I get it, I'll send it out to everyone. Thank you to each.
Actually,
and every,
Michael, it's Pacific Daylight Time, just to be accurate. It's still summer here in the hemisphere. So you said it's standard time. I just didn't want people to be confused.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time.
that's
So-
for I enjoy attending it, and for me it's 10 p.m. So I hope it's not going to be later.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with the Bruin again, but I am a stickler for the daylight versus standard thing. And I recently saw someone put PPT, and I was like, what the heck is that? It was Pacific Phone Time, meaning whatever time it is on your phone in that moment, because nobody can figure out daylight and savings.
Yeah. Thank you guys to each and every one of you for coming. Have a good night,
you, everyone.
everybody. Encosi.
no worries.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
They
Thank
allow
you.
me to.